Hello, my name is Joseph Flack, and I'm going to be going over GSI Milestone 2 on build 66 of the Ragamuffin Capstone project. Alright, going in here, and mine is the first level, the boss arena. Alright, now we start off here in a little rest area in which gold and things could be placed. Kind of scoped way too big on the boss itself, and the level design kind of slacked off as a result of that. So coming straight into the fight, you're locked into the arena with the rock troll. The health bar pops up on the screen to let you know this isn't just any old regular fight, as well as as music cues to let you know let the player know that this is a big moment. So starting out the fight, the troll boss goes between two different states. It's two different actions rather. It's chasing the player, or when it gets close enough, it is trying to do a big melee attack to the player. If you look at the health bar of the player down at the bottom, the melee attack isn't something you want to get hit with. It does a quarter of your health, so this can easily stack up into a dangerous situation. So, given some health to learn that. This is a bug with the troll. Sometimes on a miss, something in switching the states is broken, and it'll cause them not to do the pursuit, go back into the pursuit state. And right now, the working fix for that is to push him to his next attack phase by stunning him. And that is another feature that I worked on or in the implementation of this enemy, was giving him a stun state. And it looks like he's pursuing again. And stuck on the miss. So if we get him to a third, we'll stun him. And he can be damaged while stunned. Then he switches to his AoE attack phase, where he does an AoE attack, which if the player is too close, they will get damaged by. Coming back around, we can push him to his next state by stunning him again. And there we are. And then it'll push him to the third combat state, where they do a kamikaze attack. So he finished up his AoE. If you see behind him, he has the flame color. Now he's doing his kamikaze attack, where he grabs a rock, imbues it with his lava powers, and if it hits the player, it will kill the player. But as you see, it also kills the troll. So just going to go through here and kill the boss. Alright, and there we go. And so we can get him to bypass that dangerous kamikaze by just killing him quickly once he enters that third attack state. And yeah, there was also supposed to be a portal that spawns here on his death, but something in this state machine I'm having an issue between, so that is a known bug that we are experiencing in this current version. So yeah, that was everything that I worked on for this milestone, and now you'll have a chance to hear about all the amazing work that Fink did.
Hey everybody, my name is Daniel Fink. I am a level designer and programmer with Team Ragamuffin, and we're going to be going over my sprint review. We are going to be doing a little bit differently. Usually I go down the line of the stuff I've created and, completion criteria, but it's not as fun to watch, so I'm in Perforce, going down to my Windows No Editor to the exe file, firing it up. Of course, it's not even there. We go. Actually, go back. Hopefully, let me adjust the volume for the in-game here. Okay, which is right here. I can just turn this freaking music down a little bit. Sound effects, about half. Alright, go to my level. Death level. Alright, so the theme I kind of want to stick with was a dungeon theme. I didn't do like an all destroyed dungeon theme. I didn't go with that. But I did want to create the ambiance of a dark and suspenseful and kind of adrenaline-filled ride for people. So, my main mechanics were death itself and spawner for my spiders. Because spiders were in my last sprint. I just wanted to be able to spawn an abundance of them. Now, as for death, death is to spawn in. Oh, see? Death just spawned in. Killed me. Instantly. So, death comes in every 15 seconds, or 13 seconds. He despawns every 13 seconds. Now, I chose to do death because I did find out in my spider spawner, a lot of people, or my spider level, I take that back, that a lot of people tend to stay back and use our arrow spear ability to kind of, let's say, cheese the level, right? And I didn't want that. I wanted to make it to where the player would have to engage way more the enemies, you know, because it was a pretty dominant strategy. That archer spear. Oh, he fell to his doom. And I didn't want that to happen, so I created death to keep you moving. Because if you were in his circle, which he kind of spawned out of bounds there. Not a bug, not a glitch. I just was hugging the wall. He would continue to try to spawn in next to you. And chase you, see? If I had stopped moving, I'd have died. If you're in that purple circle, you're gone. It's dunzos. He snatches your soul. And that is the main thing for it. I wanted to keep the player moving. So the days of sitting back and just tossing spears, not going to work. I kind of actually want to go back and talk about this first room here. Broken off into sections. Now, I did want to do kind of like a library feel on this side. Aha, he spawned out there again. Gives me time to look around. I did want to go with like a library feel, you know, and which I think I hit the mark. All those meshes, by the way, I created. So, oh, I used up one of my potions. And then I wanted to go with like a storage room for this one. So, which I think I hit. I got the wine barrels. We actually have crates now. So with the crates, the wine barrels, the destructibles, you can actually all tell what they are. So they're easily more definable. And of course, the jars as well as the crates, they have a random chance of giving you either gold or potions. Oh, see? Spider spawners. Now, with the spawners, I wanted to make it to where this time it was like a spider egg sack. And it would open when they were activated, so the spiders kind of burst out. That does give you an audio cue when they do burst out. There is a visual cue of the egg opening. And then an audio cue when they go to despawn and stop spawning. Now, let's keep this one alive. I can say that it is a little more difficult to see the spiders in this section. So, upon like review of players' feedback and stuff, I put a point light on the back of the spider, so it looks kind of like a black widow. And now it's still just as terrifying. Oh, there you are. I was wondering when you're gonna show up, bud. Yeah, see, he's like, nah, you're just playing with your food at this point. Nope, can't catch me. Nope. So I wanted to make sure that we could see the spiders and we wouldn't have an issue with people who, had like low light sensitivity and couldn't see. Now, you are locked in this room, and as you can tell in the previous room, the door itself had an audio tone and had a visual of a big door, little lights on top of it to know when the fires were lit. So I decided that instead of having just those lights, I would add it to the bookcase. So it also give the indication, because you can't leave this room. So players can't mistake, okay, well, how do I get out of this? Well, the bookcase does visually change. And does give the text notifier what to do. Now, design-wise with this room, I wanted to keep it like a crypt, like a shrine. So let's hobble on down. Now, in this area is our first area of rest with some hazards, because in Gauntlet, which was our 1-for-1, which I know we don't have to stay with it, but I like the idea. There was no rest or refuge areas. There was areas that had hazards that didn't have enemies. So, there's that. Keep in mind, though, I thought it was really important that, oh man, I'm going to keep moving because that dude's going to spawn on me, that I wanted to keep with bringing back old mechanics from previous sprints. So making a comeback is our blade spawner, our fire doors, as well as our lava and turrets. So that made a little bit of a comeback too. And of course, I caught the crown on my head. Let's go. So in this area, if you're not sure what it is, it's a dungeon. There's cells. And to entice the player, those greedy players who love gold, I put some gold inside. Oh, that was close. He spawned on me. Good thing he spawned outside. That gave me a freebie for 13 seconds. And of course, our explosive barrels have made it back with our destructible walls. Now, in this next section, I took the spider spawner a little farther, and I brought back some old mechanics in our crypt-like design here. I increased the difficulty by creating a statue that puked out spiders constantly. Now, keep in mind, the mechanic is still the same for the spiders. It will stay active for 30 seconds, spawning spiders for every 2. My thought behind this was I didn't want to do like a set amount, right? Or a kill counter. I wanted to do by time. I wanted to make it flow more than be like, oh, I just have to kill certain amounts and sit back, They won't stop spawning for 30 seconds. Which, that guy's just chilling up there. We're going to leave him up there. I'm thinking that my fire tornado threw him up there. Now, another mechanic coming back is our relic doors. Which is awesome, by the way. Relic doors are phenomenal. But as you can tell, I wanted to go with like another kind of tomb area with a giant statue that pukes out spiders. Now I should be fine to put these on here. Death still has a possibility of spawning in that last room with me, but hopefully he doesn't, because I'd like to talk about the mechanics a little bit. Actually, we'll just go ahead and go. So in this last room, of course, it's the finish of the level. I want all of us, you know, our way of teleporting out is portals. So I didn't want to do just a standard portal like I did before. I wanted to build a giant portal, which I'm going to go ahead and go in, talk a little bit. Okay, so my main mechanics were the death and spider spawner. Now for death, he animates coming into the world, and he tracks the player and then chases the player once he, you know, locks on. Now he does spawn 13 on, 13 off. I will, upon this, doing this and playing, excuse me, I will have to adjust the proximity of which he spawns, which will also increase the difficulty for the player, admittingly, which I'm okay with. So you'll have to be moving a lot quicker because there's a higher chance of him spawning directly on you. Now, the second mechanic was, of course, my spider spawner. I animated the closed and open. There is a sound for when the eggs open and start spawning spiders, as well as an audio tone of when they stop spawning, to let the player know no more future spiders in that area will spawn. I did improve the visibility of the spiders by adding a point light, like a black widow, little red dot on the back end of the spider. I know this is a little different. We kind of went on a tangent and kind of played and tried to explain at the same time, which admittedly is a lot more difficult for me than going through and reading the list, which I think it's okay because I enjoyed it. Hopefully you did and enjoyed the video yourselves. I will be passing it off to our other level designer and programmer, Steven, for his level. So I will catch you guys all on the next one. Good luck, Steven.
Hello, my name is Steven Fedor, and I'm going to be reviewing my mechanic and my level. The change list is 980278. I clicked the wrong one? No, I didn't. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit, just to show different locations. So initially we have a maze. That's the starting area. So just gotta put the starting point over there. But it just illustrates what you need to do with some notes. I died and I wasn't paying attention because I was looking up. But it showcases how to play the game. So we have all these notes around illustrating. So hint, figure out the maze to unlock the door. There is torches and stuff like that in there. So I'm going to go around and kill these guys and I don't have to come back and do this. I put hazards in here. Then the player can... It makes it a little bit more difficult for the player instead of just having them kill the spiders. He almost got me. Don't need the health. Not yet, at least. So the door is open for the next next area, but I'm going to showcase the back, the area right above it. So with the moving platform, you will be able to hear the moving platform come across. It does have a physical representation of a platform, and I am able to step onto it. Horrible representation, but it does have a physical representation of a moving platform. It does have sound as well, so you can hear it coming back around. And you'll really hear it when it comes closer. So it's on 3D audio.
Hey, you with the face.
With this area, it's just supposed to be a little challenging area for the player to introduce enemies that are not spiders. Just to showcase that I have breakable barrels. And I have some healing here just in case. So with this, it says hint lava hurts. I'm not going to showcase it now until the end, but if I did jump into here, into this little area, the player will die. Actually, I might as well to show you. So the player does die. So I'm going to start over. And just complete this area, then showcase the rest of my level. The spell tower is more or less here to kind of scare the player. So it kind of helps out with that. Making them forcefully have to move instead of just standing in one spot and hoping for the best. So the door is unlocked. I based this level to have many mazes that the player has to traverse and complete before they can finish the level. So like this area, the player is not allowed to leave the area unless they light up these torches. Spiders don't die with lava, apparently. So if the player chose to come up here, they just instinctively realized that they needed to turn on the torches. I do have a note up here telling them that they need to turn on all the torches. So some things may light up to show the path. Don't stay on the platforms too long. And the only reason why it says that is because if they stay on it too long, the spiders can get onto there. And potentially make them fall off the platform itself. So this showcases the moving platforms to be able to they can all stay on track and have multiple platforms. To get through this level, I don't have to go through there because I don't have much health gone. But we'll end up going through a teleporter to get down there where all those other teleporters are. It's just another puzzle maze. So here's the hint, going down never hurt anyone. So with that hint, literally all you would have to do is press the S key and just go straight down, but I'm going to showcase that it's not just that, so I can go right and I will get back to the top. So the hint represents going to the bottoms to be able to get out of the level. This is kind of just like a mini boss area where there's a lot of activity going on, such as zombies or mummies, more or less. It's kind of just a little trap area. So this hint, to finish, you need to collect the keys, but be warned. The reason why they are being warned is because there are going to be, you can see the King Colossal Spider on the top. It's waiting for us to get down there to be able to attack. The reason why I made this platform so big is just in case the enemies choose to walk onto here and chase the player, then it's able to move around and maneuver to get away from the enemies. And I set this one to be a little bit slower due to the fact that it is such a big area that the player needs to traverse just in case they, like I said, with the enemies coming out. It is following a spline path, this moving platform. So no matter what, it will always follow this spline. And I can adjust the speed and like the shape of it if I really wanted to. So these are the keys I was talking about. You can collect them. But now we have to wait for the platform. And there's one coming. There's another key set over there. I put a lot of health here because last sprint there was a couple people saying that there was not enough healing. So I just made sure that I had plenty of healing. One way you could be cheeky with this is by running up on this platform specifically because this one slows down. And you can grab the key and get back before it starts moving. On the next area, I'm going to show you that we can have the enemies walk over the platform. I know earlier it did briefly show it, but I'm going to showcase it a little bit better. So now we just wait to wrap around to be able to get onto the next moving platform, which is going to be on this direction. You can still do everything normally that you would in any attacking situations, so you wouldn't have to worry about not being able to move and attack during this. Should have went on the other platform, so I'm going to wait here for the next platform. Actually, I'll wait on this one. So while we wait, this can be set as a hazard as well, because I can have it come through the wall and force the player off the shelf or the floor itself. Alright, here's the other moving platform. you'll see down here that the other moving platform is here on time. I represented that one area where all the enemies were as like a train station, just as a representation. So there's the boss, the colossal spider. I forgot to put... Oh no, that's right. I come over here, it showcases at the door. I have 3 keys, but then it'll say, nope, sorry, you need to find a key. So I put a jump pad here to attack this guy. I think the wall
Now, why'd you do that to the ham?
kind of bugged him out a little bit. Yeah, I bugged him out a little bit. That representation is kind of broken, but I think the wall just kind of glitched him a little bit. But now I'm able to get the keys. And then there's one more key to the right where I have to get back onto the platform. And to do that, I go back over here, wait for the platform, and I'm able to go. So we'll just wait for that other one. This area as well, if you do fall into the lava, you will die. There is a kill bounds down there. And I wanted it kind of slower paced because I know a lot of different games, they do have like super fast paced attacking. But I wanted to focus really onto like puzzles and patience. So as you could tell, there's like, this is a puzzle. You have to go all the way around multiple times to be able to get all the keys. The previous puzzle was the little portal maze. Stuff like that. Come on, spider. Yeah, so to showcase you, the spiders are allowed to walk over it. They can still attack me. Give me a slowing effect. So any enemy is really able to walk around on these platforms. Now we just go to the finish. And to end my level, there's going to be a portal to go to the next, or to the level select. Alright. Here we have it, the final key. And we're able to leave. And that's pretty much all my mechanic is moving platform, able to traverse around the level to make sure that they can get to the next area. But thank you once again. I'm Steven. You guys have a great day.
Hello, my name is Lucas Guevara with Team Ragamuffin, and I'm going to be showcasing the work I did during this sprint on my level 4. Going over here to Perforce, you can see that in the Team Ragamuffin folder, we have the Milestone Windows No Editor folder open, and then also, that allows us to get to the Capstone exe. The revision number that we're doing, or we're recording off of, is 980278, created by Nicholas Jackson. So here, opening that up, we're greeted by Team Flash screen.
Oh, yeah.
Along with the main menu. And then opening here into options, going to turn down the music, go into the level select, and select the beast mode ability. So here, what I wanted to do with the beast mode is an ability that increases the player's size. I did so by half, increased the player's damage, and I did so by times 3, multiplied that by 3, and then also increasing the player's health pool, and I just did that by 2. So here, when you spawn into the level, you're greeted by a locked room instead of a cell. Here, and also a note with a dead person. The last words of this dead person were, don't allow, or I don't know how long I've been in here, locked myself in here to escape those creatures out there, but I'm not alone in here. So, not alone in here was me also being in here. So here, opening this gate here, we're able to exit and check out this room. Excuse me. And then upon further, like just searching around, looking around, trying to escape, you can't really do anything. But when you read this note, it tells you about the yellow potions. So use the yellow potions to fill your body with rage and gain strength to smash through walls. Okay, cool. And then upon closing that, you see a potion here kind of spawns, falling out of this shelf here. When you pick it up, you get your beast mode ability is shown there at the bottom then. And then along with the button the corresponding button to activate it. When activating the beast mode ability, all the things I said happen. You're doubled in size, or you're halved in size rather. And all your damage and your health is also increased. So 192 dropped down to 96. So now I'm gonna go through and do an actual playthrough of that. So that telling me, or an actual playthrough of the level. That telling me about him being locked in here, dropping the key, this, informing me about the potions and what to do with them. And then maybe I'll go ahead and activate my beast mode ability. Ramp it a little bit, break some bases here, get some gold and hopefully a potion. Coming out into the main hall here, you fight a couple of spiders. This is the first main fight. Here up to the north, I kind of wanted to just show that there is more depth to this mansion or manor that you're in, instead of it just being these couple of rooms, but blocking off the player's access by these bookshelves here. And we're able to use that key I picked up to unlock this door here. A couple more barrels to break, or potions rather. And we're able to read this note. This one tells you about the beast mode effects and how long they run for, or that they only run for a short amount of time rather. So you want to prioritize breaking down walls first. So after that, I'm gonna go here, see your yellow potion, and a couple of walls here. I'm gonna check if I can break them down, which I cannot. So then we go ahead and activate our X ability, beast mode ability. So go ahead and try and break these down. It looks like right there the archers shot the exploder enemies, and they took care of all those other mummies for me. So here, the strange altar. We found this strange altar while I was exploring a nearby cave. Bleeding a person on it creates the yellow potions. Nasty. So the potions you're drinking right now are actually created from people. So here, little loot room just to kind of give the player some money, something to collect, something else to do. Another note by X telling you to follow the river. So here, this gray kind of hole was meant to be the river. I'm not sure what happened to the blue coloring in that build, or during the build. I guess that messed up. But that is the river you're meant to follow. Coming out this way, the level kind of cuts off there, so we're not able to follow the river out to the left. Unless we have to go right. Getting this potion here actually took quite a lot of damage. I lost my crown there. I'm gonna go ahead and get around this room and open all of the walls. Go through, collect a bunch of this gold here. Collect a bunch of this gold over here in this room. And then make our way out to the side area, the side. So my recording cut out there when I was about in this area, and I had just got done describing the shed over here. So I'm going to continue from this point here. My gold is a bit different, but this is the same location we're going to be starting from. So here you walk up to this dead body, grab the potion, and here you read the note telling you to run off the cliff, but make sure you are full of range before you jump. So here, let's go ahead. Okay, so yeah, I do need this key. Grabbing that key, can use it here to exit.
Hey, you, with the face,
So
with the
here,
face.
I'm just gonna actually do what he said and run to the cliff because it seems like way too much for me to handle. So, and there we go. After popping the beast mode ability, I was able to survive the fall into the dungeon and continue on to the next area. So here, I'm gonna pass it off to Nick to showcase his rune puzzle.
Hi there, my name is Nicholas Jackson. I'm with Team Ragamuffin, and I'm gonna showcase the little puzzle level that I built out of some runes and a little like rotating rune pillars. And to do that, we're gonna be using Changeless 980-278 today. So let's go ahead and open this up from Perforce and take a look. Got a little intro here.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and click on level select again. I'm gonna go to my level, which is level 5 here. Alright. Oh, got our buttons here working. Alright. So as you can see, right off the bat starting, we got a couple runes lit up on the wall here. So those are already telling us like, hey, we need to pay attention to those. There's a green and a yellow. So when we come out here, we'll have some enemies here to fight. Take care of them real quick. The main kind of idea I got behind my puzzle here was I just wanted something that kind of forced the player to pay attention to their surroundings. I also have it on the door here as well, just in case players not fully paying attention. It'll kind of tell them. So if I go up to this door, you have no runes correct. So it tells me I have no runes correct. So if I come here, rotate that, try again. You have one rune correct. All right, now I got one. So now let's go ahead, do it again, and now you see it just opens. That was kind of the main premise idea behind my mechanic, was having these runes on these little pillars that are going to be color coordinated for the player. So I'm gonna place this little object, this little relic object I picked up, place on this little pillar here for it. Now I do have one key, and I could go into this door on the left. And as you can see in the little bottom destructible vase there is a crown, there's some gold, some health. All that stuff is nice, but I'm gonna go ahead and go a little bit further. Right now I'm full on potion, so I can't pick this one up. But if I do destroy that, it will actually destroy the potion, and causing an AoE that'll damage enemies and stuff like that that's in the area. I have that there, so that way, if the player was full on potions like I am, they can destroy it. Kind of teaching them that, hey, you can actually blow those up. You don't just have to use it for your skills. So we're gonna enter this next room. We're gonna fight a new enemy here, and introducing a new type of enemy. I'm gonna go ahead and use one of my old potion skills here, so that way I can knock out a bunch of these enemies without taking damage.
Hey, you, with the face.
indestructible wall here. Got some little spider enemies in here. So when they hit you, they don't really do much damage. They only do 1 damage, but they do slow your movement for 3 seconds. So if the player is going around destroying, they'll see, hey, there's kind of some more of these runes that are on the wall. So maybe I want to make sure I'm destroying these to look for any. You notice when we're walking through, there's a red one right there. And if I walk up this door, you can see so far I got those same 2 runes right there. And then when I come up here, you can see, oh, okay, there's another rune, little pillar in there. So, you know, we can kind of see what we need it to be. I'm going to preset. Oop, one more. There we go. Open that. Alright. So that's just teaching the player, hey, check around, you know. You know that there's going to be runes behind some stuff, so it's just making sure the player's checking behind everything here. So indestructible, I'm going to drop this off from what I picked up earlier. And let's take a look. Alright. Now I'm going to my next little refuge. So this area, you just got a little area to kind of run through. Some health, so I'm giving you your runes. Sometimes I'll give the runes. Kind of the goal here was, hey, while you're running up to the area, because you might be getting the runes then. You have some health. Oop. I'll run down here, grab a key real quick. All right. Take out that guy from a distance real quick. Take that out, so you can see I've seen all 3 runes, so I know at least those. I know I got those 3. Gonna go ahead and get rid of some enemies here. This game, the core behind it is based off of like the Gauntlet series, the Gauntlet Slayer edition for PC is what we base it off of. So it's kind of like a lot of our combat and early stuff is set off of. So you can see I do have a rune door here with the yellow pillar, some enemies in there. So this one is already set. So these actually randomly set every time the level begins. It'll actually randomly change like what the starting rune is. So you can see I've got here. There's already 1 correct. So because the way it spawns them. All right, we're gonna come in here. Use tornado. Pick up some health. Let's finish off this spider guy. Pick up some more potions. All right, so that one looks like that's the one that's correct. Yep, that's the one that's correct. So I need this to be that little rune there, so I can now go up here. So kind of the point behind this is I wanted to showcase like, hey, one of these pillars can open multiple doors. So that's just something you could work on design wise. You notice I can destroy like food items and potions. Potion killed a bunch of those guys there.
Now why'd you do that to the ham?
It's just one thing, so it's kind of like, be careful how you're attacking. Let's see. I believe it was that one. Yep, that was correct. All right. Open this one, so we're gonna go to our last refuge here. So the reason I didn't use my keys yet is you can see I've got 2 keys, and earlier I had 1 gold door, which is a key door, but now I have 3. So I need to have a key in order to. And there, we're going to place that. That way it opens up this door for us. Gives us our last key. So that's why I was grabbing those little, they're supposed to be relics. And that was from a previous sprint that we added those. So now I got this little cool room. It kind of rewards you for saving your keys versus wasting the one of them on that first room. Kind of like that, just a little reward. There is this little tower that's gonna like shoot these things at you. But oh, all right. So I'm gonna run down here. Oh, they run down the center. I'll be fine. All right, so this is the final room. So if you notice, we've got 2 rooms for that one, 4 for there, 1 down here, 3, and then this one's going to use 5. So 5 is the maximum amount of pillars that one door can use. So I literally could make them all the same color if I wanted, or make them separate colors, but I was just keeping them separate for here. But I also want to show, like, so this one in the room is connected to all 5 doors, while the purple one here is connected to 4. The green one's connected to 3 of them, yellow to 2, and the red to 1. So just showing kind of like different way a lot of this can be set up. So and if you destroy a bunch of this stuff, this is hiding things on the wall, which will kind of walk you through. Hey, this is what can be used to. These is pretty much the rooms you need to open these doors. So let's go ahead. Let's go check down here. How many are actually correct?
You have 1 room.
1 by default is correct. Okay. So each room here, instead of just giving you goodies, it does open you up to a fight. So I have gold, potions, and then some of the rooms have food. All right. So this one's already set to what I need it to be set to. So I'm gonna go ahead, open this one, kill a bunch of these little spiders. Alright. For this, the third one, I need it set to this rune here. Alright. And then I have to go around. Alright, and more. Now I can get into this third one, which unlocks the yellow one. So again, I do have this ability that makes me stronger. I could use on these guys. Little mage enemy that likes to run away from you. What does that need to be? So, and then when I'm here, like this camera, like switching, it makes it easier to see no matter where you're at. You can see which rune you're trying to select. The little selector like rectangle there, so you see which one, the one facing is the one you're selecting. I probably could have made it a little bit thicker, but that way, every time you come up here, it brings it in, you can see. It gives me a good view of kind of my surroundings too, so I can also better see like what I need to set all of them to. And then the reason I have this room kind of zoomed out a little more is just because it's a bigger room, so I wanted to give the player like a little bit better feel. Because like if I were to exit this room, it'll kind of pops up a little bit, zooms back in, pops out. So it kind of gives you that feel of, you know, hey, this is a normal camera view. Hey, this room's going to be a little bigger, so I'm going to give you a little bit more field of view there with your camera. So that was kind of the general consensus there behind all that.
Hey, you with the face.
Why would you do that to the ham?
All right. Grab another one of these. All right, so let's go take a look at this door here. So like I said, so got none of them correct. So we're gonna go through. Let's grab this one first. And as you can see, it's gonna tell me, hey, I got one correct. Let's take a look. There, green one. That one, I believe. Yep. And we got those two. So it uses one of, you know, each symbol. You could have two, like multiple of the same symbol if you really wanted. So here we're gonna have, so I'm not picking up that crown yet just because I know what's coming up, but so if I press F, this is gonna open. For a second there, it kind of stops your movement, so you can't move past it. And then a gate popped up. You notice the little health bars popped up. It said boss fight. And if you look, there is now a giant spider here. So I'm gonna fight. There's just a little basic boss that I made. I just increased the size of him and increased his damage and then slowed his attack speed down. So after he's defeated, I'll go pick up my crown because I know we're good here. Still health in here. So it also, like, it gated off every room. So if you didn't pick up health or anything that was in there could have been helpful. It just kind of is like, well, maybe you should have picked that up. Just locks you in that room for that fight. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to lower this little drawbridge. And that brings us to our exit, which is going to give us a little bonus. So show you also the one thing with that I set up. So like you can see, I went to that special room, so now I got 9 keys, which is the maximum you can have. There's 4 key doors. I only give you 3 in this level, and they kind of circumvent players being able to just come from a different level and be like, oh, I know I need, you know, I could get 4 keys. As long as I have 4 keys, I can get everything in this level. I actually circumvent that here at the beginning. So if I come here, it stops my movement, and then it does a little evil laugh, takes your keys away, and sets them to 0. That was literally only if you basically start the level with a key. Because I can run up here, grab a key, nothing, it's not going to do it again. If I quit, and I'm going to go back to my level, I'm just doing this to reset my keys. So if I hit restart, I would have reset me back at 9 keys. I'm going to go grab this, and you notice it won't trigger. So it'll only trigger if you start the level with keys. So that way it just kind of forces you, so you can't cheese my little 4 keys or 4 key doors with only 3 keys. So that's kind of like the main reason behind that. So yeah, so overall this is just a lot of fun. I just kind of wanted to base it off of, like, I grew up playing a lot of Gauntlet as a kid, like the old ones. Gauntlet Legends on the 64 was one of my favorite games that I played with, like, my brother and stuff. And I just love a good, like, puzzle. These puzzles I felt like weren't too difficult, but you could definitely ramp up, you know, difficulty. Like, you know, I could just have runes on the walls. I don't have to have them on the door. I was thinking, if I had more time, I really did actually want to set it so if you had a rune correct, it would glow on the door which one was correct. And then, like, show, like, you know, have it show, like, the color and stuff. So, like, have nothing on this door, or just have blacked out, like all the runes blacked out. And then if I come over here and I'm like, all right, I set this one to that, and have it be like, hey, if I had one correct, turn it from black, like glow it green, or just maybe give it a glow so hey, that one's correct, but maybe I have the same room in 2 spots, so you don't know which one it is. So I thought about doing that. For the start here, I left it kind of like, hey, you need these 2 runes. And then I also have like, these are the telling. So if you're paying attention as you're running through, you'll start seeing these runes, and that'll help out. So it's just kind of the way I have it set and kind of what I would like to do with it. I do plan to kind of improve on this a little bit more later. But for what we got, or what I had to showcase for this sprint, that shows everything. Hopefully you guys watching this will enjoy and see what we everybody else on the team here has to bring.
Hi, my name is Dawson Majors with Team Ragamuffin. Today I'll be doing my GSI Sprint Review 2 video. I'll be doing it off of ragamuffin_capstone.exe 66 out of 66 or change list 980278. Let's hop right into it. So if I go right here to level select, and then I choose level 6, or Dawson Majors elevator level. So kind of, I first start out, I always have the character first start off, in a small portion of the room and have a portal there. So this portal isn't connected to anything. It's mainly more for show, just to kind of show that the player came from a different level and trying to connect our stuff. Unfortunately, unlike some of the other levels, I don't have any lighting built in it. Or I have lighting built in it, but none as complicated as theirs. So I want to start the player off with a small combat situation to get them kind of warmed up here, and a gate to block the way of the player so they can't go back towards the portal. These boxes and bottles aren't for aesthetics, they're actually destructibles that the player can use to collect gold or potions before they go to their next fight. The main thing I wanted with my level is to kind of force people into combat situations, to help them get used to the combat they need to get used to while playing our game, and to just help them get a little bit more practice with it. And plus I wanted to mainly showcase, just enemies and stuff, and showcase that our enemy AI, and go with that type of dungeon style feel where you're always kind of constantly fighting, sometimes always constantly fighting, and sometimes just have a little bit of downtime breaking destructibles or just collecting gold and stuff like that. So I was mainly going with that type of style for this, with corridors, doors that locked behind you, collectibles, destructibles, and stuff like that, and enemies to fight. So go up through here. Oh, my spiral staircase here. Last piece of gold. Destructible doors, so the player is always doing something a little bit different. And here's my first combat encounter, or what I like to call my little wine room. This first combat encounter will have spiders coming out of the walls on both sides, and the player will be a little bit bombarded. The spiders do slow when they attack you, so it's kind of up to the player to fight or to survive long enough till the door opens, because this door right here that's in front of the player closes behind them, and the door to the elevator that's just up ahead closes as soon as they get into this room, and stays closed for 35 seconds. Or 35 seconds. So the player can survive for 35 seconds. 35 seconds, or they can get really good at combat and kind of just kill everything in those 35 seconds. I placed enough health in the room so just players won't, you know, feel like I'm just bombarding them with enemies and not giving them enough health and stuff like that. So if I go in here, both doors close. So as you can see, I mean, as a player, I can, like, you know, kite around it and use my tornado ability and try to dodge the spiders, or I can kind of get bombarded and, you know, try and kill them here. Just try and run from them. The player can definitely survive. These spiders don't do a whole lot of damage, but while in giant groups like this, they do. So this kind of gives them a little warm up to combat. So see, the door opened after about 35 seconds. Player can choose to run and come in the elevator. My whole thing is whenever you destroy this crystal, the elevator goes up to the next kind of combat encounter room that that the player will face. The player's always safe in the elevator here. Enemies can't come into this elevator. Can't come into the elevator. It's a safe, a rest spot for them. And it stays down as long as the crystal is alive and not broken. So if we go here and we could just hang out, the player can just hang out and rest for as long as they need, kind of formulate a plan on what they want to do, get used to their abilities or stuff like that. And they can even walk back out of the room and try to finish off the rest of the spiders if they'd like, but no, I highly doubt they would want to. Okay, so if we attack this crystal here, it breaks. And then it comes up to this portal right here. And this is the portal that leads to the next combat encounter to a combat room. So I have the player over here coming into the usually always starting off in like a small room that leads up to this. As you can see, it's kind of like a little graveyard area, and I did this area as a graveyard because my whole design behind this was, or whole design behind the like tower or the level was, you're starting off at the bottom of a wizard's tower, and then you're climbing up to it, and as you go up the elevator and get to the next combat room, next combat counter, and try to survive it, each room is different and each room is unique to a type of thing. So this is kind of what I call the graveyard of the necromancy room, where you have all the mummies or the mummy AI chasing you and going. I placed down enough potions and enough health for the player to use and to survive this combat encounter. So the same thing happens here is, you know, I leave this space open because if the player decides to come back into this space, the mummies will still chase them here and they'll be kind of blocked in, and that's bad for them, but they can make that decision for themselves. I think I've left it wide enough for the player to kite the mummy enemies around and just run them around and survive long enough till the 35-second timer for the door opens up. So if you see here, if I walk past right here, mummy enemies start spawning. Players can start facing them off like one by one, or can kind of, you know, just start kiting them around and using their spear, or they can get in melee combat. The mummy enemies, unlike the spider enemies, do not actually slow the player, so I kind of force these players into combat situations to get them, you know, more practiced with our combat system, and to kind of get the feel for it so they can enjoy it more and enjoy other people's levels. Also, while kind of creating my own style for the level too. So that 35-second timer's already been up over a little bit. It kind of corresponds with the despawning of the spawners. I mean, we could fill up on health here, because like I said, I placed plenty of HP and plenty of potions for the player to use, so they don't find it too hard, but they also don't find it too easy, just in case they decide to spam abilities. So here we go. Go up on this pedestal here, and then you can go to the next portal. The next portal takes you back to the elevator. And I mean, you can come back, the player can go back through the portal and elevator here. And it's the combat encounter room is already finished. You can't do it again. So they just pretty much have only one way to go, and that's up. And the only way to go up is by destroying the crystal. Go here. Go to the second. You have your spider room, or my wine room, like I like to call it. You have the graveyard, and now for the third room, we're going to have a library. This kind of introduces the mage enemies, and I give the player a little bit of just, you know, gold for them to follow a trail. I place plenty of collectibles for the player to continuously do something in here, all while, you know, kind of traversing the level. And I placed three mage enemies in here, so they can fight and not feel like they're just getting collectibles in here as well. So I sort of teach in this room. I sort of teach them about the mage enemies and give them a little bit of a maze to solve and gold to collect. So it feels more like they're also collecting gold throughout the game instead of just killing enemies. So here we go. Here's the next room. And like I said, the only way to go up is destroy the crystal. Alright, now we're in, I think, the fourth room. And I like to call this the archer room. As you can see, I spawned in, and then we have mummy enemies.
With the face.
So I gave the player more open space here for them to go kill the archers up here. But the mummy enemies do follow the player. So I mean, you can run straight to the end, which is right around here. But you'll always have those mummy enemies following you and kind of chasing after you. And the archer enemies, they are shooting at you. So this level can either be just you want to survive, or you want to kill everybody. Which, in my opinion, I'd rather just survive it rather than kill everybody. So basically what I kind of had idea for this room was, you know, just throw them in the middle, have archers shoot at them, and then have mummy enemies chase them. I didn't place any health or collectibles in this room because in previous rooms, if the player was smart enough, or, you know, smart enough, or if they like to save things like the potions and just run, they would have enough. And if they decided to use or spam potions, then they wouldn't have enough for this later room here. So to move on to the next portal. Now, this one's a little different. It's the same premise. Survive for 35 seconds. You can either survive for 35 seconds or kill enemies. This is my final room, or the top of the tower room, or boss room, like I like to call it. So, go here. You have your boss spider, your boss king spider here. I didn't place any health or collectibles in this room because if the player, you know, had the same idea here, they should have enough for them to survive this room for 35 seconds and survive the spiders. Because we definitely give the player enough mobility and movement, kind of ranged, and other abilities to help them fight and combat enemies we've placed in the level itself, or things we've done to the level. So I'm choosing to kill the spider. And spider is dead. So it'll despawn. As you can see, the door opened before I even killed anything. The door opens after 35 seconds, so either survive or kill everything. Get at the end of level, and you can choose level again. So to mainly go over this, my whole design for the level itself was to make the player feel like they're starting off on the bottom, climbing up a little bit more, and then getting to that point where they're having large combat encounter. And then as soon as they just either need to survive or they kill everything. They can either run or kill everything. And as the player goes up, the combat encounters get a little bit harder each time. They get a little bit more harder each time. But the premise is still the same. You can either survive that combat encounter or you can kill everything. It's up to player's choice. I give them enough leeway and room to decide what they want to do. So my kind of artistic design on this level was kind of a wizard's tower. You're starting off at the bottom of that wizard's tower, and then you're going up and going through portals in that wizard's tower, and each portal is leading you to a different room with different encounters. So first room, you didn't go through a portal for the first room or the spider room. That was kind of like still starting off on the very bottom. Which was the wine or the spider room where you face all the little spiders and stuff. And then the second room, which would be the graveyard, you go through a portal, go to the graveyard, and you face off against mummies, or you survive against mummies by kiting them out. And then the third room, I believe, is the library, where you follow a trail of gold to make it feel like you're not only just doing combat, but you're also getting collectibles and keeping the player doing something different other than just combat and kiting. And then we're up to the fourth room, where it is the archer range. I have 2 archers up on the side, and then mummy enemies chasing the player as soon as they spawn in. They can choose to go up and then survive for a certain amount of time, or they can stay at the bottom and fight the mummies and then go up and fight the archers, or like I said, or they can just run after the 35-second timer up for the doors up. And then the final room, or the boss room, is where they fight the boss and fight small spiders and kite them around to have them, around, and kite them around and just move around, or survive, kill, or be killed. That's the main design of the level I wanted this level to be. This is Dawson Majors with Team Ragamuffin. Thank you again.
Hey everybody, my name's Izzy Wilson. I'm part of Team Ragamuffin, and I'm going to be showcasing my Simon Says level. So let's get started. Okay, getting started. Let's walk through the level itself and what it entails. So we have this entryway area which has a bunch of collectibles. Since my level is last, I'm assuming that players have probably gotten hit a time or two, and so I'm here to provide a little bit of extra help, along the way. Okay, starting back over, we're going to see the middle of the level with the enemy spawners and the Simon Says puzzle. You can see they've already started to spawn, and the spawners are there. I had the Simon Says level raised a little bit so that I felt like it would cause a little bit more tenseness if they surrounded you on all sides and you didn't know how to get out, instead of just being able to attack them straight up. And you can see the level, the spider spawners have, well, despawned. Over here to the right, you can see a side room with a bunch of loot that is hidden by a destructible wall and an explosive barrel. And over here you can find a little bit of refuge from them. As you can see, they kind of move away. Once I come back and they recognize me again, they'll start coming back. Okay, and here you have a couple health pickups and all these destructible items for hopefully having a chance to collect potions, maybe, depending on the random spawn of the destructible items. Okay, restarting. Let's go ahead and try the puzzle itself. I really wanted to just add another puzzle mechanic so that would block you into a room. So as you can see, this door closed behind me. I can't get through it. And all the way up here, we have another door that I can't get through. And that one will eventually open up once you've beaten the level. Okay, now I'm going to actually play the level. So let's go to the center area and see how it works. So I can step on all of these, nothing really happens. And then once I find myself, oh, there it goes, the indicator, and it shows me the first step of the puzzle, which was this red spot here. So I'm going to hit F. All right, now it's red, blue. So red, blue, red, blue, green. So let's run around here. Maybe give them an E. A little fire tornado here. So, what was it? Red, blue, green. Red, blue, green, and gold. So let's go back. Red, blue, green, and gold. And I did notice that a lot of our levels are kind of locked by needing to, the necessity to kill every single enemy, and we don't have many levels that allow for the player to just run past, so I don't actually have to beat these enemies in order to win. I can just move on. So let's go back into it. Play this one more time. Just kind of how I would probably play it if I were a player myself. Here. And follow the tornado. Of course, they slow down your speed, which I think adding the spider enemies instead of one of maybe the tougher ones was a good play here because it slows down your speed and you're already trying to be really precise about where you're going. So I thought that was probably a good move in a design standpoint. So let's go back to the green. So I already know it's going to start with red, so I just went ahead and started going there. I've learned that constantly moving is probably what you want to do. And there we go. The side room, the reason that it's there is mostly for the players that have a hard time getting past these enemies and feel like they're getting overwhelmed too much. So that side room is there just as an area to take a break and also to allow the player to heal up a little bit before continuing to try the puzzle. Let me go back into my level really quick. One thing I did add was a reset to the level. Say you were to hit a wrong space, so let's do here. Alright, and then let me just, for some reason, go back. It lights that one up again. Don't light that one up again, so let's hit the right one this time. Okay, red, blue, so I'll do red, and then let's do green. Alright, and it started it back at the very beginning of this puzzle, so it just did the red. I don't get to go onto the red-blue just yet. Let me get rid of some of these guys. So let's do red, red, blue. Okay, let's do red and blue. Red, blue, green, so let's do that. Red, blue, and then let's do blue one more time just to show that it'll restart. Yep, we started at that point in the puzzle as well. So let's go on. Red, blue, green. Red. Blue. Green. Red, blue, green, gold. And I will show one more time what happens if you were to mess up at even this point, just to cover all my bases. So let's do red, blue, green, green. And it started back at the beginning, just as I hoped it would. Let's get rid of these enemies so they're not a nuisance anymore. And let's just finish up the puzzle. Okay. That's great. Let's showcase this one more time so you can see that it works. And I can see my puzzle, or my side room here. Not the puzzle.
Turkey.
Oh. Right. I actually got a potion that time, which is pretty nice. Let's just move on to the end here. Get my good crown. And we've completed the level. Okay, the last thing I'm going to showcase here is the lose mechanic, which simply is just getting killed by the enemies. So let's put ourselves in a spot where we'll really get beat up. And there you have it. Okay, well, that is it for the Simon Says puzzle and level mechanic. Thanks for watching.